Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you have not been here before. Today I'm doing a requested look for Sabrina Carpenter's hair and makeup. So we're going to start with the makeup and then finish the look up with her beautiful full hairstyle. So I'm starting off with Giorgio Armani. This is the Power Fabric Foundation. I use the shade 4. So next, let's move on to blush. This is arguably the biggest part of a Sabrina Carpenter look. She goes very heavy on a very bright Barbie pink. So I'm going to use the Rare Beauty in the shade Happy. This is the pinkest blush that I have. And I'm just going to smile to show the apples of my cheeks. And I'm definitely not being shy with this blush. Again, she goes very heavy with it. It's become her signature look. So let's start blending this out with our foundation brush. And don't be scared. Now, in order to get a heavy but beautiful looking blush, and around this point I just clean off my makeup brush with a little makeup wipe, and then I continue to blend. We're just going to keep feathering those edges but keeping the brightness of the pink intact. And once we're about here, I switch over to a little beauty blender. And you can see we have that wonderful bright pink color, but because it is so blended, it doesn't look clownish, it just looks maybe Barbie-like, certainly very youthful and very fresh. So next I'm going to go in with some concealer. I'm using the Revlon Candid Concealer in 005. And just using this to make my eyes pop. And then try to slim my nose a little. She has a very delicate nose. I'm just using it on the smile lines, a bit on the chin to make it a little more pointed like hers. I'm going to let this sit so it has time to set, and then we'll press it in. This often helps the concealer work a little better. In the meantime, I'm going to move on to a contour. So I'm going to use Rare Beauty in the shade Good Energy. And here I want to highlight the roundness of the cheeks. She has these beautiful, very sculpted cheeks. So I'm going to smile in a sort of tight way to make my cheekbones pop, and then follow that curve around. And just adding a little bit to the forehead and chin helps bring everything together. Alright, so I'm grabbing back my foundation brush. I have rinsed it off again. We don't want any remaining blush on there. I am just squeezing mine so that the brush can follow that thin line a bit more. And I'm going to switch back to my beauty blender to finish off that line. I'm going to get a fresh beauty blender and press in that concealer. I want that beautiful highlight that she usually has on her cheeks. I'm going to use the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. This is just a very thick, very pigmented highlight. I'm going to add it to the back of my hand. And I'm going to grab a clean foundation brush, gather some of that up. You can see just how well that works. And now we have beautiful highlight, not subtle but not overdone, somewhere in the middle there. Now let's move on to eyes and brows. I'm going to start with my Anastasia clear brow gel and just try to get all of these hairs going at a diagonal, just like this. And that way, when I go to fill them in, it will be a little easier to make them look fluffy. And as we wait for those to dry, move on to the eyes. I'm using Too Faced Better Than Chocolate. This one is my go-to. It has enough colors to do just about any look. But today we're going to keep the eyes fairly soft. So I'm choosing this color over here. It is slightly pink, but it is still a neutral color. This one is called Bite Me. And I'm applying that all over the lid. And now I'm going to go in with this slightly earthier neutral. This one is called Lick the Bowl. And just add that to the crease, going about halfway across. It's going to add a bit of definition to the eye and help when we make that wing. Just give us that very cat-like eye. Gently blend it out. And now to finish up with a shadow, going in with this white sparkly, can't really tell it's sparkly from here. This is called Milk It, and it's just a white sparkly color. I'm going to place that fairly heavily on the inner corner of my eye. And then just using the excess to drag over the rest of my eye. So we have a very condensed sparkle in the middle. And then the hint of one along the rest of the eye. Now for eyeliner, I'm going to use the insanely black Flex brush from Absolute. It's a nice sharp tip on it here, very pigmented, very black. And I want to create that beautiful cat eye that she often sports. Now, depending on your eye shape, you can put this line on a different way. Because I have downturned eyes, I am going to start the eyeliner right in the center and wing it out to give my eyes a more upturned look. If you have almond-shaped eyes, you probably want to start the line right in the inner corner and make an even line all the way out. And if you have round eyes, I suggest putting the eyeliner in the inner corner and the outer corner and leaving the middle blank. I hope that makes sense. I do try to explain why I do the eye makeup this way, but if you don't have downturned eyes, it will have to be altered a bit to get that Sabrina Carpenter eye. Now to add a little wing here. And now I just want to add a touch of eyeliner to the inner corner. I like the shape here. I just want that emphasis. So I'm going to go as close to the waterline as I can. And again, I'm still leaving out that little section right here. That is the highest point of my eye. And in general, the highest point is over here. So I want to make it seem as though my eyes are more cat-like, more almond-shaped than they are. And by leaving off the spot that is the highest, it's going to mimic that almond shape. I know she has beautiful big lashes. I don't want to wear false lashes for this look, so I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer. Just making sure that all of those lashes are coated. I know it looks scary now, but it does have a very nice effect. We want to make sure that that dries completely before putting mascara on. Otherwise, it all mixes together and it's just a big mess. And in general, you can tell when it's dry when the white has faded to clear, or at least more opaque. So in the meantime, let's see if we can get some Sabrina Carpenter brows. Her brows are very full, so mine are nicely stuck in place by that gel. I have my Anastasia Brow Wiz. This one is in the color medium brown. bit lighter than my actual brows, but it does help soften the look. And I'm just going to start adding little strokes to mimic hairs in here. Alright, the lashes feel nice and dry, so now we can apply our mascara. I'm going in with Benefit Bad Girl Bang. This is my current favorite. It's light but dramatic, so I find that it elongates those lashes without making them too thick and clumpy. And next, let's move on to the lips. She wears a lot of different lip colors, pinks to reds, but I think her most iconic look is the very noticeable lip liner with more of a gradient lip on the inside. So I'm going to go for that one today. So I'm going to start with the Atelier Deluxe in the shade Auburn. Have the initial outline done, I'm going to take the side of the pencil and just lightly go on the inside of that line. Next, I'm going to go in with Revlon, the color Obsessed, and this is a pink color. And concentrating that on the inside of the lip. Again, we're going for a gradient, nothing crazy, but a natural gradient. And now to finish things off, some nice gloss. I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs. This is from the Sugar Sugar Duo. This one is Enamored. And the makeup is great, but it's really not a Sabrina Carpenter look without the hair. The whole look is such a signature of hers. So let's go ahead and style the hair. Mine is a wreck right now, which is great because I can show you how to go from this to a really beautiful blowout look. I'm going to be using a curling iron for this look. This is the T3. It's a great curling iron. It does come with different sized heads, and I like this one because it has a very big barrel, which is great for a blowout look like this, especially for those of us who need heat tools to achieve a blowout look. If you have coarser, thicker hair, sometimes it's just not easy to do that with a round brush. But anyway, and before starting, of course, I want to use some heat protectant. This is Chi Iron Guard. And just being very liberal with that heat protectant. And now to get started, I'm going to section my hair. I like to put my thumbs right above my ears, go right back and section out that bottom layer. And now grabbing about half this layer, so this is maybe a 2-inch section but quite thin. I'm going to grab my roller and I'm gently pulling the hair through. This is going to straighten the top part while curling the bottom. Now, obviously, if you have straight hair, you don't need to worry about this step. So just once you get to the bottom, make sure all that hair is nicely under there. And we are curling the hair so that it will go down. We have a nice bouncy curl there. I like to give this a bit of a tug, just seems to help that curl really form. There we go. Let's see if I can move my camera so you can actually see the bottom of my hair. Seems like an important step in a hair tutorial. All right, there we go. All right, so now let's move on to the next layer. I'm going to speed this up because it is the same step over and over again until we reach the bangs. So let's just go through that nice and quickly. Okay, so now that we have the majority of the hair straightened with that nice curl on the bottom, let's move on to the bangs. Now, this look is really only going to work if you have the curtain bangs. I hesitate to call them curtain bangs. She has beautiful, almost heavy bangs that lead into curtain bangs. And right now I have kind of some overgrown bangs. So there's really only one solution, and that's to cut my bangs for this tutorial. So let's go ahead and give them a trim, and then we'll style them. And let's see what we have here. I do cut my own hair, which is probably why this looks so uneven. So I'm going to, come here. All right, so we have almost a triangle here. It's supposed to be a little more even, but again, I don't do a perfect job. I'm going to grab this section over here, pull it to the side, do the same thing over here. And again, just trying to get these longer hairs out. Okay, so let's take these longer pieces and get them out of the way for now. Okay, so these are quite long right now. And I'm going to give them a nice trim, probably starting to the end of my nose. You never want to do too much at once. And I'm just making little cuts at an angle. Go back and do the same thing. Now I'm going to take away these side pieces again. And we'll give this one a little twist and a cut approximately halfway up the nose. Maybe just a little less to be on the safe side. You can always cut more. You can't put it back. All right. Now let's give these a curl and see how we did. I think the length is good. We just have to style these properly. So we can take these pieces down now and go back and split our part. I'm going to take that curler and angle it so it's going like this. And just continue twisting to get all that hair going in the same direction. Same thing, we have the same angle, although it is pointing a different way, it's just easier to hold. Now let's grab back those middle pieces and then just grabbing the bottom of your bangs. Okay. And let's just really fluff up these roots. Give us that Sabrina Carpenter volume. And this is the completed look. And I hope that you like this look. Let me know if there are other looks you'd like to see. as always, you can ask for makeup, hair, whatever you can think of. I will try to achieve it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next tutorial.